Yep, it's true. I've lost most of my money. I mean, look, there's so much bad stuff in the headlines, right? I mean, let's list it, right? We had a higher inflation report. Longer term yields are spiking, oil spiking, Chinese economy's imploding, United Auto Workers are going to strike, student loan repayments restart, Fed's going to hike again in November. We have another looming government shutdown. There's so much to be bearish about. And what did I do? I shorted the market. Let me explain. All right, so here's the technical position of the NASDAQ 100 on the daily. Okay, I was looking at this as a good motive impulsive move up from the end of December. So it's green minor 1, 2, beautiful green 3. And then I was thinking we would head into a triangle or some kind of consolidation in green minor corrective wave 4. So what we did is I'll show you what we did. We shorted the market and I'm losing all my money. Wink, wink. Yeah, it's a little bit of a clickbait, but let me explain. Okay, so I was thinking again that we would get a little bit of a sell-off here in wave 4, and I did go and put some hedges on, and I have an alternate count that says it's not a triangle, but it might be a little bit more of a directional ABC X ABC down into like 14,000 to 14,500 down in this zone. Well, what's happening is the market, despite all the bearish news that I told you about, is acting really strong. And if we break above this 15,006 area, I think we're probably headed to new highs and beyond, right? So what I did, yeah, it was a little bit of a clickbait, but we put hedges on with our members at Trading Analysis. So here's what I did out in the SEP 29s. I did an NDX put spread. I bought the 15,150 and sold the 15,000 put spread. I'm down about $2,000 on that one. And then with the members at TA, we did a 370, 360 put spread in the Qs. I'm down on that one. I have a long standing Q position right here. I sold ACK monthly calls, down on that. I have a long standing XLK long position, up some good money there. I'm down on that one. So, I mean, like, I've been like unapologetically bullish on this market. I've been jabbing at the bears, just trying to have fun, but I'm always looking at the market two ways. And obviously, I can never be accused of being a perma bull because I just shorted the market and I'm getting run over on it, right? So like it just goes to show, I'm a two-way trader. I'm kind of having fun with you a little bit, but I'm losing money in these hedges, and it looks like the market's pretty strong. So let me show you what I think's happening here. Okay, so let's take a look at the RRGs, relative rotation. So we're going to look at Vanguard Mega Cap Growth, Mega Cap Value. What's happened here on the monthly is, here's the start of 2023. Vanguard, the Mega Cap Growth was down in monthly lagging, as Mega Cap Value was up in monthly leading. So value was leading growth, and we're benchmarking against the S&P. Well, during 2023, there's the end of Q1, here's Q2, and then in August, last month, Mega Cap Growth just ripped in a monthly leading. And here we are now in September. At the same time, Mega Cap Value just went from monthly leading to monthly weakening to monthly lagging, which is the basement. And I've done this study with you before that, there's a lot of history to suggest when Mega Cap Growth goes into monthly leading and Mega Cap Value goes into monthly lagging, over the last, I think it's like 17 years, 17 to 20 years, it lasts anywhere from 2 to 5 years. Well, we just went into monthly leading on Mega Cap Growth. Further, over here on the weekly, which is a much shorter time frame, we're looking here in June, this is back in May. Mega Cap Growth has been sort of losing relative momentum as it's dropping, losing a little bit of relative strength as it's going to the left. But what's happening is it's starting to hook up. If we get a hook higher here in weekly weakening and this guy starts to head back into weekly leading, what's going to happen is Mega Cap Value is going to be denied from going into leading, is probably going to fail here, head back into the basement, and that's only going to further solidify the move into monthly leading on mega cap growth. What does that mean? It means that the growth trade is probably going to be with us for a longer period of time than you could even realize. Okay, so looking at the sectors, let's focus over here on the monthly. What's going on in the sectors? I hope you know the symbols for your sectors. You should. Okay, so what is rotating down and out, heading to the basement? Industrials, materials, staples, healthcare, utilities, financials, and real estate is already there. And energy is on the way also, even though we've had a very strong move up. What's rotating in? Consumer discretionary, tech is already there, and comms, communications, just entered monthly leading. That's a big deal. Okay. Now over on the weekly, what was going on is we've had a little bit of a resurgence in the value trade. Okay. So in June and July, watch all those guys on the left. Again, industrials, materials, financials, energy, utilities, real estate, healthcare, staples. All those guys tried to make a move up into weekly leading, which is trying to sort of stop the slide out in those monthly value sectors that I just mentioned. Well, what's happening is we're starting to see loss in momentum, loss in rate of change, and these guys are starting to roll over. If these guys get denied, like industrials just did, financials, materials, healthcare, and real estate, if these guys get denied from entering weekly leading and head down, it's only going to further solidify this rotation down into the basement, which means your growth sectors are going to rotate in. Okay, now even more so, look what's going on here on weekly on the growth guys. XLC comms has already made the move. Like Meta has been acting great. Netflix, Google, even with antitrust with Google, comms is moving. Tech is starting to make the move, starting to do the hook. You want to watch the heading on this guy. And XLY, you want to see this guy start to flatten out and head back. If we do a hook here on weekly weakening and these three guys and head back into weekly leading, that's only going to accelerate the rotation into growth on these three guys, as I just mentioned, further solidifying this guy right here. Okay. So within technology, I want to show you just a few names, and I want to show you, I guess I have about 4 of the strongest sub-industry groups within technology. So I'll give you a couple names to look at. All right, so these are 4 sub-industry groups that we are watching. Now, before I jump in, we are benchmarking now against technology. Okay, over here, these guys are benchmarked to the S&P along the relative rotation. Now I'm looking at these sub-industry groups relative to technology. These are the strongest sub-industry groups within tech. So from, let's say, weakest to strongest, comms equipment, communication equipment, has been underperforming tech for a while, but take a look at the big move we just saw on the weekly, trying to make a big move and trying to head back up. Remember, this is relative to technology, which is stronger already than the benchmark. From there, system software has been showing some good movement, and you can see over here on the weekly, we've head down into lagging, but we're now trying to hook back up. Application software has been very good. There's some really good names in there I want to show you, as well as semiconductors. Okay, so semis were already over here in weekly leading, heading back down. I would love to see a little bit of hook higher here in semis. Obviously, NVIDIA breaking through. There's a lot of chips that are in buy positions. And application software showing really good move here on the weekly. Okay, so a few names I'm prepped to show you guys within application software. And again, app software is looking really good here on the weekly and is at a very good heading over here on the monthly. So a couple names that you might want to keep in mind on application software. Oh, come on, don't break on me. Come on, baby, you can do it. Uber, Manhattan Associates, MANH, Workday, and CRM. Those guys are all in a very good position. Again, we're benchmarking against the S&P now, not XLK. But take a look at some of these names, okay? Uber is ripping on the monthly, and it just did a weekly hook in weakening. This is one of the strongest setups you can find. If we can head back into weekly leading, and you can combine that with a good technical setup, Uber could be a good one. Workday. Also just did a very nice hook inside a weekly leading. That's a pretty rare signal. Manhattan Associates, I've been watching this one for a while. If we can get a hook here, and Salesforce, very good. A couple names I'm going to show you over in the semis that I'm keeping an eye on. Obviously, NVIDIA is going to be in there, but just a few others to keep an eye on. Take a look at Broadcom. Not a huge move on the monthly, but doing fairly well. Again, I'm waiting for a little bit of a flattening out in Broadcom. If we get a hook back into weekly leading, that'd be a great setup. Rambus is actually on the relative strength scale is as strong as NVIDIA. It's crazy. On the weekly here, if we can get a hook higher in Rambus, that would be a very, very good setup in Rambus. I want to show you Broadcom specifically. Pretty good setup happening here, and then we'll take a look at Rambus. I hold this in our growth portfolio, and I was wondering, kind of like what I thought would happen in the NASDAQ, that we get a triangle consolidation. I'm thinking potentially the triangle's done in Broadcom, and we have support that is held in very well around 825. We should be able to break this top end about 927 and take us up to new highs. Rambus, let's take a look at this guy here. Let me get over to the daily. Nice little ABC correction here in Rambus. ABC done. I have this as diagonal 1, down in 2. We're potentially going into minute wave 3, which this is your breakout wave right here. $66, $67 in Rambus. Okay. So yeah, I was a little bit of clickbaity there, but I kind of think you expected that from me. So yeah, I lost money on my hedges. You know, this market is acting so incredibly strong. And when you understand what's happening on the rotations, not only in value growth, also in the sectors, but then you break down and find the industry groups and the sub-industry groups, and then find the best stocks within those sub-industry groups. Like that's, dude, that's how you swim downstream, easy with the least amount of resistance. So serves me right for trying to hedge and short this market and get too cute. I'm getting run over and I deserve it. All right. Hope that helps, guys. See you on the next video update. Hi, it's Todd from tradinganalysis.com. Thanks so much for watching. Listen, my team and I have so much to share with you in terms of our technical analysis, our fundamental analysis, portfolio management tactics, trading in and out, maybe options, sector rotation. Let us know what's most interesting to you. Maybe drop that in the comments section and we'll do our best to work it in. Also, consider clicking the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when we put out new videos. And finally, you can check us out at tradinganalysis.com if you'd like to see us manage our real portfolios in real time. Thanks again for watching.